first saw it in, I think, 2014. It was Easter Sunday or Easter Monday, and we were floating down the Palouse River from the town of Palouse to Elberton, which is a ghost town. After we got to the ghost town, our desire for abandoned places wasn't sated. So she was like, I think there's an abandoned hospital in Colfax, which neither of us had seen, so we drove over here and saw it. Why is no one doing anything with this? Why is it in this state? And that began what turned out to be a 7-year quest to buy it. We bought it during the first COVID lockdown in, was that 21? We've been fixing it up since, which has mostly been a process of trying to get it to not collapse, basically. We're sort of approaching the tail end of the don't collapse era, which is very exciting, but has a lot of new questions, new challenges. That's where we're at.
So what's our agenda for today?
I don't know, we're making it up as we go along.
Perfect, just another day.
Although we will...
Dude, how are you? I like the mustache.
Oh, you inspired. Good to see you.
The boys are back.
If you put those sashes back in, we'll film it.
Okay.
Sashes? What are sashes?
Oh, you gonna put me on the spot.
Yes.
What are sashes?
So we've been, AJ has been fixing up the old wood windows, and the sashes are the part that moves. Take out the sashes, repair the frame, fix the glass, or put the glass back in place, and then you put the windows back in. There's a window replacement lobby, big vinyl window, trying to get you to replace your wood sash windows with vinyl. We resist them.
Every single time that we have made a video together,
I've talked about wood windows.
No. You've taught me the name of a thing that I've never heard of before.
Nice.
Transoms, stanchions, sashes.
So I think you should just bleep whenever I use like a thesaurus word so that it seems like I'm swearing. And then we'll get the comedy value and then people don't have to look up words.
These
You know?
mother effing stanchions.
Yes, yeah.
Stanchion, one more time.
It's like a reintroduction, you know?
It kind of is.
You can't assume that people know things. There's a lot of lore. We gotta catch up on the lore.
Start from ground zero.
Yeah.
Is that the term, ground zero? Or is it start from
Zero.
square one?
Ground zero sounds bad. Yeah, for sure. It's a disaster zone. But this is Saint Ignatius, and this is my haunted hospital. It was built in 1893. Originally, it was just this smaller building. The building had like a mansard roof, which is like the Playmobil mansion, like, French Paris arrondissement. That sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And then they added onto it in 1912 and in 1920. And that's why the building looks kind of lumpy. Yeah, there's just not a lot of buildings like this in this area. I grew up on the East Coast where everything is old, like Civil War buildings and that sort of thing. And people just sort of take these things for granted. But in the West, like this building was built before the statehood of Washington and Idaho. So it predates the state that it's in. So it's one of the oldest buildings, you know, that you can find in the area. So the romance of it is strong. The draw is high. This was a fountain. So like under this grass, there's like a bowl, and then a statue of Saint Ignatius was sitting in the center of it. Consistently torn between the desire to restore the fountain because it's so over the top, and use it for something else because it takes up a lot of the lawn, which is, I think, just part of the general dilemma of doing like adaptive reuse.
Saint Ignatius, famous saint or just some local Colfax guy?
Saint Ignatius is one of the bigger ones. He was an anti-reformer, and then he also founded the Jesuits, which is service order, which is why a lot of like hospitals and schools are named after Saint Ignatius, but also where a lot of priests come from, because there's a lot of rigor, and he emphasized a sort of like monastic self-examination, that sort of thing. The other thing I appreciate about it's sort of the Saint Ignatius thing. The cornerstone on this side has, I think it's a Jesuit thing, but it's the love of Christ compels us or urges us onward. But it also appears in the exorcism rite. So it feels sort of appropriate that the cornerstone is pre-exorcising the building. It's the deeper magic represented by Latin.
Now, a lot of people around these parts and beyond, they believe that it's haunted.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have to put in what your actual opinion about that is.
Dude, you could put in my actual opinion. Yeah, the ghost thing is something I didn't really have a lot of cause to think about before I bought the building. Sort of inherited its haunted reputation, and the fact that it's like a place that people come for encounters with the numinous, you know? So at this point, I've run out of coffee. But you know how on like sitcoms, they're always using like empty cups, and you can tell that they're empty. For continuity's sake, I have to keep holding my emotional support mug, but there's nothing in it.
Why don't you turn that upside down?
This is a favorite spot on the tour. This is the unofficial tour. No, most people don't get this tour, but there's like a single large brown bat that lives in the outside of this window glass.
Oh.
I love it. He's like my buddy.
Does he have a name?
No. Secret name.
Some friend you are.
It's in a.
So you have a familiar.
His name is in a language that I can't pronounce any of the. He whispered it to me one dusk, but I can't repeat it. All right, this is the chapel, a reasonable place to talk about hopes and dreams for the building. Just like the fountain, when you think about adaptive reuse of old buildings, you end up doing a lot of thinking about like multi-purpose spaces. How many different functions can this space perform? And I get why in the modern age there are a lot of multi-purpose spaces, but it kind of like kills my soul a little bit, because there's something very magical about what is the opposite of multi-purpose spaces? Spaces for a specific purpose, you know? When we first saw this building, there's something very magical about it. You're struck by it, you're seeing all the details. And then after 6 years of working in it, you sort of lose some of that. Like your eyes become disenchanted. You can no longer see it the way that it is. And it takes a lot of work to get back to like, oh wow, yeah, like this is what it is. When I was a kid and I first realized I needed glasses, like you put on glasses and you're like, other people can see the individual leaves on the tree, you know, and I've never had that experience. And it is a re-enchantment. It's like, in order to re-enchant your view of the world, it's not that you're becoming more whimsical or that you're perceiving into a sort of magical spirit layer that's underneath the world. You're actually seeing things the way that they actually are. Like re-enchantment is not about becoming a more whimsical person. It's about seeing what's actually there. And you need to sort of like constantly look for that. It's a really just alarming thing. We spend a lot of time sort of cutting ourselves off from reality because we find it overwhelming, just like sensorially overwhelming. It's too much to process. Sacred means, at least on one level, it means set apart. Anytime you like dedicate something to a specific purpose, you're setting it apart for that purpose. Technically, you're making it sacred. Wendell Berry has this great quote, which I may get wrong if I don't think about it before I say it. There are no unsacred places. There are only sacred places and desecrated places. And I love that. I think that's a guiding quote good old Wendellberry.
JD, set down the sound thing and clap.
Ready?
He wasn't ready.
I mean, like, applaud, Austin.
A lot of the first, I would say, year and a half, maybe first 2.5 years was about sort of trying to get people to not break in or break the windows or like make it worse, because the building had been on websites, places you can go that are abandoned. And so I embarked on a very long quest to be like, could you please tell people if they come not to break in? It took a while.
Bush did 211.
What?
Bush did 211. Bush did it.
Bush did it. I get it now. Okay, I get it. This is ground zero. It's a ground zero callback. This on the wall here is from some folks who broke in. Actually ended up becoming friends with one of them. It's so funny, they didn't actually bring the spray paint. I had the spray paint here. The stupidest thing that you can do in your dilapidated building is leave crowbars and spray paint. 3 guys came down from up north, shall we say, and broke into the building in the middle of the day. The sheriff came. He's told me that this was a bad call on his part. They were in their car trying to get away, and he put his hands on the front of the car, you know, like stop. And of course they accelerated because that's what you do. So he rolled off the top of the car. And he was fine. But they brought guns, which is bad when you're breaking into something because it escalates the inevitable charge. They brought guns because they said they were worried that they would run into somebody in the building. And I was like, that was me. They were like, what do we do now? And one of them was like, let's effing trash this place. He grabbed like a sledgehammer or something and like slammed it up against the wall. And all these walls are plaster, so it would have just gone through it. But there's one wall around the elevator shaft that's made of brick. And he picked like the one place where like smashing into it would not be satisfying. You could see him on film go dink. Anyway, it was one of the more eventful break-ins.
You're friends with these people now?
One of them opted to do community service. The judge at the time was really big into you should have to go and work in that building that you broke into. And so he came and did 40 hours of community service.
So it was AJ.
And he's been here ever since. No, AJ is the gentleman who has to supervise the people who have to, which is a job in and of itself. But Chris, who I think spray painted this, did great work. I mean, like, I might as well, you gotta hit the hits, right? This is all new to somebody. This is a security system. The building was used up until the 2006, I think was the last time the building was used. So I don't know when this security system was installed, except that it says it on it, 2012. The typeface, not font, the correct term is typeface, is the Stranger Things titles, which they used because it's on a bunch of Stephen King paperbacks in the 70s. So our security system has the font of Stranger Things. In the same way that fiction may have Easter eggs, which are sort of intertextual callbacks that connect it within the world or outside the world, real life has an awful lot of these, including that. Easter eggs in real life. Oh, you were talking about words. Oh, you want a word? You want a word? See this window? This like stupid but very cool covering thing above the window, like there would be drapes behind it, but this is in front of it. It's called a pelmet. It's a pelmet. Bleep that out. They're not in fashion right now, and I think that you could tell that maybe that's from the 80s or 90s, you know? Because it kind of looks like a Santa Fe Taco Bell kind of a thing.
Yeah, the last time I saw one of those, it was in a hotel in Thunder Bay, Canada.
Yeah.
Which is like the murder capital, the Detroit of Canada. And it's very a Canadian Detroit. It's sort of not as good as the real Detroit.
Oh, no. Yeah, when you see them, you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that's a thing. You could put a thing above the top of your drapes. But No one's doing it right now. So, yeah. This is the epicenter of bad. This is where there was a hole in the roof, and so all the water would sort of flow into the hole. So all of the damage was in one place, which is actually kind of a good thing. So instead of I actually don't know if it's a good thing. Would you rather the damage be evenly distributed over the whole building or all focused in one place? I think in this case it worked out for it to be in one place. But in the winter, this is before we owned it, water would come in and it would get on the hallway floors and would freeze. So the first two floors would become like an ice skating rink. But I think the terrazzo really saved the building because it sort of funneled all of the water into this one place. When we bought the building, we were already unsure whether it was too late, you know? Like you don't know, like many, many points of no return in life, you don't know when you've reached them until you've passed them. Yikes. We embarked on a multi-year quest to keep the water from coming in. And it really did take, I think it was at least 18 months before we made significant progress because it just wasn't safe to work in that space. So you had to do so much just to get to the thing that you were trying to do.
I haven't even looked up yet, but
don't look up.
also.
Well,
Oh, there you are.
Tell me where you want me.
Are you getting on the other side of the hole is probably dangerous, I'm guessing?
Yeah, probably. Well, okay, listen, no. The answer is no, all right?
It's not dangerous? Or no, you won't do it?
For you, I will.
No one else.
Don't stand here. Oh my gosh, dude. Sorry, I just looked up and
It's a nice hole.
I made it no, I didn't. Someone wrote on a toilet in dust. It's like the perfect assemblage of things. It's like that S that everyone knew how to draw.
Yes.
And Kilroy, and a ween, and I think it also says, help me. And I'm like, this is the perfect four things.
Long ago, the four nations lived in harmony.
Exactly. I do think with the whole like talking a lot, like part of the goal is sort of, well, I won't rant this in the hallway.
No, rant.
Well, okay,
I need your rant.
There,
I'm going to film the guys in the background because Austin is being polite to the crew.
I think part of what you want is like knowability. I mean, it's the most terrifying human thing. D.W. Winnicott, the child psychologist, said, "It is a joy to be hidden and a disaster not to be found." And that is like the human thing, right? It's like, look at me, know me, everyone leave me alone and go away. One wants to be known and knowable. Paul says that in heaven we'll know fully even as we are fully known. Like there's this promise that we'll sort of drop all the things that keep us from knowing each other and we'll really know each other. The thing with YouTube is, or social media in general, is you have this sort of concept of the parasocial, which is I feel like I know someone that doesn't know that I exist. I actually don't think that that's really bad. I know people that don't even exist in real life, right? Like I know Leslie Knope, you know? She doesn't know me. She also doesn't exist. And there's this sort of fear that on social media, people are only knowing a persona of you, but everyone has multiple characters and multiple personas. So it's not that there's maybe like an artifice to it, but it's not fake to only know someone in one way. If people know me, they'll see the quest for the building. Enlightened man. I actually don't remember. I don't remember what that painting's supposed to mean.
It's just cool, man.
Yeah, it is now. There's a lot to do, so I'm going to be here a while. Be sure to smash that like it's...